I'm back with the head wrap. That's how you know I'm serious about growing my hair out, is that I brought this back. And I must say, I feel beautiful. I pretty much always feel like this, but I feel like I'm really glowing. I'm really glowing. Wow. And I think a big part of it is because I am so full of joy. Y'all, I did my first reformer Pilates class. So I started doing Pilates in January. And then February, I kind of fell off, did it a couple of times. And now here we are in March. And I put it on my vision board I put this Black woman with short natural hair on a Pilates reformer on my vision board. And something else that I wanted in life happened. And when it happened, it was such a clear, like, you know what it was? I think it was when I did yoga at I don't know if chalet is the word, but like the outdoor open yoga studio with the like thatched roof, with the view of the like gorgeous ocean. Those types of images are my vision board. And so when I did it, and what I like to do, not only do I have my vision board, I have like pictures of me then doing the things right next to it as like evidence, as proof, as like, girl, you really are living your dreams. So when I added the image of me like in my yoga pose, I was like, you are doing it, girl. And I was like, you know what? In order to be the person you want to be, you have to take the actions. Also, hi, person who just joined. You have to take the actions to, realize those things. And I was like, all right, I put homegirl on the reformer on my vision board. Let me Google reformer Pilates. And then I went to my first class on Friday. And it was so beautiful for a couple of reasons. The first was that this was my first time intentionally, I did a private one-on-one class. This was my first time intentionally hiring anyone like a personal trainer, personal instructor, personal fitness person ever in my life. And I think the process of like being open and feeling worthy of receiving support and receiving help is something I had been working on. So it felt like such a manifestation of like, you wanted this thing. You said, okay, I want it. I deserve it. This is important to me. I'm going to reach out and get it. You got it. And it was so fun. I was not prepared for it to be that fun. And it was so fun that I didn't even think I really worked out. Like I left because I'm used to working out where by the end you're like huffing and puffing. You're really struggling. There's pain. You're like gasping for breath. That's like what I'm used to. This was so fun. And I'm like, oh, I am so in. I already like reached out. I've already like set up. I'm going back tomorrow. I'm going back on Monday. I'm so freaking excited. And so not only, of course, did I go on this beautiful emotional journey of getting this one-on-one support, but then I had the experience, that sense of satisfaction of like, oh, you can do things. You can just have things, right? Things can be easy and fun. And it was such a rewriting of my experience. So I'm feeling really grateful about that. And also something I spoke about kind of jokingly, but I think I am actually manifesting it, is becoming one of those spiritual girlies. You know how there's certain people who wear the outfit of spirituality, the head wrap, like they really wear the outfit, the loose flowing, they do the whole thing. And I think I must have seen some images of those ladies and I was like, yeah, why not? Why not let their culture be my costume? And these are things I've already owned. So it's not like it's such a stretch for me to do it, but I am very tickled by how easily it's coming. Also, hi, person who just joined. It is really tickling me how easy it's coming to embody this version of me. And speaking of embodiment and the title of this live, which is doing less, you're doing too much. I've been processing, why is the Wi-Fi acting up, right? As much as I try, I can't help but always think there's always a deeper meaning for something. There's always layers, right? And so yesterday, my Wi-Fi was spotty as well. And it was honestly a really beautiful day. I spent a lot of it just like sitting right outside my window, weeping as I stared at the trees. I love a tree. I love a cloud passing by a blue sky. I love a bird. I'm going to get emotional. And just journaling and listening to, I've been hanging out with Joseph Murphy, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. So listening to this audiobook, feeling moved, feeling loved, feeling inspired, just really listening to music, just really being in this gorgeous energy. And because it was in and out, sometimes I would use Spotify as my Wi-Fi check. So Spotify would say at the bottom, either you're online or offline. And so as soon as it said you're online, I was like, great. And I would go right to social media, like seconds. Give me 1 second of internet. And I was right back. I was like, great. Fuck that tree. Get me on the internet. And so I'm like on the internet as soon as I get a taste of that Wi-Fi. And what I noticed, of course, is that a lot of it tended to be commentary, criticism, problems, things happening in pop culture that weren't so positive. And it was fascinating because I had the awareness to notice it. But every time I would get a taste of Wi-Fi, I went right back to it. So I'm grateful for that awareness, just the recognition of like, you can know something intellectually. That does not mean when it comes down to it, you're going to do the practice that you know is best for you. But the other thing that I'm really grateful for is, it helped me understand, like, because here on YouTube, I've been going live pretty regularly, having a really fun time. And like many other things in my life, when I decide to do something, I'm like, yeah, we're going to do it every single day. We're going to do 20, 30, 45 minutes. Yeah, my throat's going to hurt. Who cares? I'm having fun. But also I'm giving, I'm like providing this service. I'm doing something I love, which is talking and being perceived and engaging with my community. And then I was like, as a result, things are going to flow into my life. It's going to support my abundance, et cetera, et cetera. And essentially with the Wi-Fi not being consistent, that interrupted my ability to do that. And I was like, that's annoying. But again, I'm sure this is part of the master divine plan. I'm going to relax. And so this morning I'm hanging out with Joseph Murphy. And one of the things he reflects on is like, baby girl, once you plant the seed in your subconscious mind, it immediately starts working to make it happen. You don't got to do all that. You don't got to effort too much. And what I noticed is that I was taking that same energy that I've taken historically to other parts of my life, which is just efforting and doing a lot and trying really hard and like a lot of focus, a lot of deep, depth and all these things. And I was doing the same thing with something that should be easy and light and fun, which is just hopping here on YouTube, saying hello to folks, being in community, sharing what's going on in my life and keeping it pushing, like keeping it cute, right? And so I was like, okay, that's the additional lesson. And so as I speak, I'm realizing my invitation is to be with what I just said, which is that you can know something intellectually. That doesn't mean you're going to practice it. And you're knowing that there's this tendency to do too much when it comes to creativity, showing up, building your audience, growing your business, etc. So can we put two and two together? Can we? And I'm like, I think so. So I think what that looks like in practice will be maybe coming on live, not every single day, and then maybe not for 45 minutes every time, maybe just hopping on, sharing a word, chatting to the folks who want to be chatted with. Because I see some folks are here, but no one said hi in the chat. So I'm guessing this is a quiet Sunday group. So engaging with the folks who want to engage and then hopping off. And maybe it's 10 minutes, maybe it's 15 minutes. And that gets to be it. So that's what I have to share with you all. The other thing I have to share is I am not sure I'm actually going to do my April program on liberating the money shadow for two reasons. One, I really wanted to call it Growing the Money Garden, but then I Googled and that name was already taken. And this part of me was like, no, Chimdi, you already have this one thing for brand recognition. You should keep it. And I was like, So from the beginning, I kind of like diverted from what my spirit was telling me, which is kind of never a good sign. And the second thing is I was still kind of recovering from February, where I feel like there was a bit of an energy mismatch in terms of like, the efforting, how much I was doing, forcing, pushing, weeping, in order to create a really successful container, which I just don't think all that was necessary. And so I'm really kind of coming into right relation with that. Liv is here. Hi, Liv. Liz saying you just arrived. So you totally missed my message, but you're going to rewatch it later. Thanks. Let me know if it resonates when you rewatch it. The gist was relax. And also, I'm doing Pilates now. I think that's like the combo. Can you imagine? I'm already so sexy. Can you imagine how much sexier I'm going to be after doing Pilates twice a week? Can you Are we ready? Are we prepared? Like for the flex? Are we prepared? Oh my God. I'm really excited. And I only started, like I said, in January, and already I'd say 15% of my personality is like, I do mat Pilates. I've done reformer Pilates one time. I'm gonna start buying matching sets. Like it really, it's like how everyone sets, like the obsessive, addictive. Yeah, because it's also so fun. And then you feel good and you look good. Yeah, I'm loving it. Liv's giving me some fire emojis. Yeah, I'm just, I'm thrilled. The other part of the gist was like I might not be on here for like 30 minutes at the time at a time every time, and that's part of me learning my lesson. Also, every time I laugh, I literally feel my abs, or I feel my core, my transverse abdominis, whatever it's called. And I was out there. I went on Friday and it's Sunday. So I'm still feeling it on Sunday. I'm being pretty aggressive at like aiming for like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of schedule, but we're going to see. We're going to see. I feel like by Monday, I'm doing an evening class. By Monday evening, I feel like I'm going to be fine. I also did a one-on-one class. So I'm also curious to see how it's different in the group container when I'm not having like the one-on-one attention and all the perfects. I didn't realize how much I was going to be affirmed. If I knew that I would be affirmed for 50 minutes, just like, yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. I'd be like, ah. Speaking of perfect, also Liv is saying, happy for you. I'm waiting for my finger to heal. Right, your finger situation. So you can go back to pole. And start kickboxing. Fun, sexy, and aggressive. Love. You're gonna you're gonna be a threat, okay? Okay. Not just a threat, a promise. Okay. Let's not start no fights with Liv on the street, all right? Love it. I love it. The other point I want to share about perfect, I think this will be my last little tidbit. And it came from this Joseph Murphy book. He was talking about someone who was doing some self-healing. And the phrase he used was something to the effect of, my body was created by God. It was created in this perfect image, and it's still being held as this perfect image in the mind of God. And so now I allow my body to, acclimate to this perfect image, of my body. And something about the idea of God making me as like a little baby and being like, perfect. I was like, what, me? I was like, yes, girl, I love you. And I'm like, what? Perfect me? And then, of course, adult me, God also being like, perfect. And I'm like, as I am. And God's like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow. So I did some real weeping over that. And I want to share that with you because it really like landed. And I was like, just the love. I think that's been like the journey post shrooms. I don't think I even told y'all about that. So much has happened. My heart has been so opened. No, I think I mentioned it. My heart has been so open and has remained so open. And, I'm stoking it and cultivating it because I love how it feels. And I love to weep from gratitude and joy. And a lot of it is about just, there is all of this love coming from all sides all the time. Even like I was on TikTok because now I just watch TikToks about Pilates. And I saw this like young woman, like early 20s woman who started her own Pilates studio. And you see, she's like sharing it behind the scenes. So you see her like individually building the machines. And I'm like, that lady where I went and I did Pilates, someone built that machine. Like it did not come assembled. Someone had to sit there and put it together. And I was like, thank you. Like I just felt all this love. And I'm like, wow. So it's really nice. It's really nice to feel loved. I highly recommend it. All right, y'all. That's my final word. Thanks for hanging out. Hope this was a little treat, a little Sunday pick me up. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye.